On the surface, it sounds like a love song you can dance to, until you actually listen. Behind the glossy synths and that perfectly polished production, Don't You Want Me is anything but romantic. It's a musical standoff, two people telling completely different versions of the same breakup. He insists he made her who she is. She calmly lets him know she's doing just fine without him. Released in 1981, it became one of the biggest pop songs of the decade. But the irony is, the Human League's own lead singer didn't want it released. So what happens when the ultimate pop duet is really a breakup played out in stereo? Let's get into it. I'm Sean, and this is A Closer Listen. Before Dare, the Human League was more of an electronic art project than a pop band. After a major lineup split in 1980, frontman Phil Oakey was left to rebuild the group from scratch. He recruited two teenagers he spotted at a Sheffield nightclub, Susan Ann Selly and Joanne Catherall, and teamed up with producer Martin Rushant to reshape the band's sound. The result was Dare, a sleek, futuristic blend of synths and pop hooks that helped define early 80s new wave. Don't You Want Me was one of the last songs written for the album. And at first, Oakey didn't think much of it. He called it a filler track and even described it later as sub-ABBA. Virgin Records disagreed. They insisted it had to be a single, and they were right. By the end of 1981, the song was everywhere. It hit number 1 in the UK for Christmas and climbed all the way to number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 the following summer. The song that wasn't supposed to happen ended up defining an entire decade of pop music. The story unfolds as a duet between two people who once shared a relationship, and now share nothing but their own versions of what happened. The man's side comes first. He sees himself as a mentor, even a savior. You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar when I met you. He's confident, nostalgic, and just a little self-satisfied, as if he's telling her who she used to be and reminding her who she should thank. Then her voice cuts through, cool, poised, and unbothered. She reminds him that success and independence didn't come from him, they came from her. The more he insisted he made her, the more her calm defiance exposes his insecurity. It's not a love song, it's a power struggle. His verses are driven by ego and denial. Hers are driven by liberation. And what makes it even sharper is the contrast between their voices. His low, emotional tone against her bright, detached delivery. Susan Ann Selly had been discovered at 17 and was still in school during the Dare sessions, which adds an interesting layer to her performance. Youthful but confident, standing her ground against a far older male narrator. Meanwhile, the music itself underlines the emotion. It's mechanical and controlled, like somebody holding back what they really feel. Every note feels like it's trying to stay composed while something deeper simmers underneath. The music video, directed by Steve Barron, turns that emotional duel into a literal story, a film within a film. Between takes, the camera pulls back to reveal lights, crew, and cameras, blurring the line between performance and reality. It's a perfect metaphor for the song itself. Two people acting out a breakup, but you're never quite sure what's real. The power dynamics shift constantly. Sometimes he seems in control, other times she takes the spotlight, leaving him in the background. At the end, the camera slides on a dolly in front of a mirror, revealing the crew behind the camera filming us, the viewers. Maybe it's meant to be an uncomfortable moment where we just wanted to observe, not become a part of it. Shot in cinematic style with moody lighting and cinematic cuts, it was pure early MTV. Slick, ambiguous, and emotionally distant. But that detachment worked. It made the song feel more like a story than a performance, and helped propel the Human League into global fame. Don't You Want Me didn't just top charts, it redefined what pop culture could sound like. It was the biggest selling single in the UK that year and remains one of the country's all-time bestsellers. It also set the template for an entire wave of synth pop that followed. Cool, minimal, emotionally complex, and instantly danceable. The Human League went from underground experimenters to international stars, and this song was the turning point. Over 40 years later, it still pops up everywhere. It's been in TV shows such as Glee and Ashes to Ashes, as well as movies like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty and He's Just Not That Into You, just to name a few. And every time, people still debate the same question: who's right in the story? Maybe that's the brilliance of it. It's not just about who's right or wrong, it's about how two people can share the same history and still tell completely different stories. Don't You Want Me is a farewell masked as a pop hit, the sound of control slipping away and dancing through it anyway. I personally love her confidence and independence she shows. A confident and independent woman of the early 80s was a study in contrasts, balancing new career ambitions with traditional expectations while embracing a bold, powerful aesthetic. This have-it-all ethos was both empowering and a source of new pressures, creating a generation of women navigating a rapidly shifting cultural landscape. I like to think that this song arrived right on time. What do you think? Was this just another pop song, or was it an early look and story of the new independent woman? Let me know in the comments. Liking and subscribing keeps you in the loop of these kinds of videos and also helps others find my channel easier. And as always, be in the moment. Don't you